I want to thank everybody for coming out today. And, I'm going to pull my mask off because it's smothering me to death and it fogs up my glasses if I got it on whenever I'm trying to talk. But I want to thank everybody for coming today, and we're really, really excited about the announcement that rural development, the USDA is getting ready to make here today. But you know, we got some people that I want to thank, and you know, number one, I want to thank my board of directors, and some of them are here today, and you know, they've had the I guess the vision and the foresight to give us permission to go out and try to partner with USDA and Lena-Wisco and Virginia Coalfield Coalition and the things that we've done, you know, that's basically extended broadband out in Southwest Virginia, and I want to thank them for giving us the ability to go out and do that and having the faith that we could go out and do that. I want to thank my employees. You know, you're only as good as the people are around you, and I'm a firm believer in that, and I've got some really good people around me, and you know I get to sit up here today and talk about this award, and that I wouldn't be getting this award, or Scott County Telephone wouldn't be getting this award if it wasn't for the people that I had helping me, because there's a whole lot of work went into it. You know, we've got a consultant engineer, William Metz and Williams here. He put a lot of work into it. You know, Matt Hill, Roger Fraser, Greg Hood, Melissa Jesse, you know, are some of my key employees that worked on these grants. But we've got a lot of other employees that go out and survey people. I mean, we do a lot of work to get ready to apply for these awards. So I just want to thank them, and you know, I mentioned Lena-Wisco. You know, they're the local planning district, and we're partnering with them, and our goal is to get broadband to everybody in the Lena-Wisco footprint. And we're extended outside the Lena-Wisco footprint even. You know, we've got fiber to the home in Russell County. We've got fiber to the home in Hawkins County going down Stanley Valley, and you know, and we're partnering up with Powell Valley Electric to take fiber to the home into East Tennessee down below Lee County. So, you know, we're you know, we're a regional provider now, and we've been really blessed that we've had some resources and had the expertise to do that. So, but today, you know, I'm going to talk about us. Today I'm here to introduce Betty Brand, and Betty's the Deputy Undersecretary for Rural Development, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Betty, because I've known Betty since probably 1980. And, you know, I used to work the Farm Credit System, and Betty used to work the Farm Credit System. And I remember the first time I met Betty, we were at Blacksburg at some kind of a workshop, and I remember this energetic, passionate individual just running around, and all she talked, I mean, you know, what could we do to help our farmers? And that was Betty Brand. And, you know, we were all just a little bit jealous because you know, she kind of made you look bad. She wasn't as energetic and passionate as she was. She made you look bad, you know. So, you know, I thought right then, I want to grow up and be like Betty, you know. And, you know, then she worked for the Roanoke Association. I worked for the Old Southwest Association. So we didn't have a lot of day-to-day interaction. And then, I don't know, it was about 2000. Then all four of these farm credits merged and went together. And boom, in the meantime, I came to work at Scott County Telephone, then I got elected to the Farm Credit Board, but I was back working with Betty again. And so, you know, Betty did a lot of legislative affairs. She headed up marketing. She was part of the management team. But everything that she did she did it with everything she had. And I know when she went to work for USDA and rural development, I thought, man, y'all don't know what you're getting. You're getting a person that's going to push you to your limits to get out there and do the best that you can do. And so that's what I remember about Betty, you know. And I was going to tell you, you know, that Betty was a Valley girl. You know, if you think about movies and stuff, think about somebody in California, but she's a Roanoke Valley girl. So she'll be dressed up in blue jeans and cowboy boots and have a cowboy hat. And she might even be riding a horse, you know. So Betty is, you know, she's rural and she understands how we live and how we do things, and I'm just tickled to death that we get to share, or she gets to come down and share this announcement with you folks here today. So I'm going to turn it over to Betty.
Well, thank you so much, Bill. It is indeed a pleasure to be back in Virginia and to travel some of the roads that I traveled when I was with Farm Credit. And I will say that talking to the Rural Development Virginia team, Scott County Telephone has been an incredible partner with Rural Development, utilizing our programs and really making sure that this part of the country, and especially this part of the state of Virginia, is represented well, and the work that Scott County Telephone has done has really helped the economics of this area. So I'm Betty Brand. I'm the Deputy Undersecretary for Rural Development at USDA. And you know, the reality of it is that there are 21 million people in this country that are not so lucky and lack a good internet connection. And 80% of those 21 people live in rural or areas or tribal lands. In this day and age, all of America needs robust, modern infrastructure to thrive. And this is a necessity, not an amenity. And the pandemic has only highlighted the digital divide even more. If you have access to high-speed broadband internet, you can participate in distance learning, access to critical medical services remotely using telemedicine, or continue to run your business and keep your staff employed all from home. During this national emergency, having access to high-speed internet means kids can go to school virtually. Our parents and grandparents and at-risk neighbors, friends, and family members can visit their doctors without entering a potentially dangerous environment. And this is only possible through high-speed internet connectivity. I'm so proud of our rural communities who have been working day in and day out, just like they always do, producing the food, fuel, and fiber that America depends on. We need them now more than ever during these trying times. Under the leadership of President Trump and Agricultural Secretary Sonny Perdue, USDA is fully committed to deploying high-speed internet e-connectivity to the nation's rural communities for these very reasons. And today, we are announcing an investment of $9 million in grant funding to the Scott County Telephone Cooperative, who will deploy high-speed broadband. With this investment, Scott County Telephone will connect 7,496 people, 416 farms, 97 businesses, a fire station, a town hall, and 2 educational facilities to high-speed broadband internet in Scott County, Virginia. USDA has nearly $1.1 billion more available for the purpose of deploying this critical infrastructure. $100 million of that was appropriated in the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, the CARES Act, which was signed into law by President Trump. I look forward to announcing more of these critical investments from round 2 of USDA's Reconnect program in the coming weeks. USDA will continue to work under the direction of President Trump and Agricultural Secretary Sonny Perdue to ensure all Americans have access to high-speed internet connectivity, because we know that when rural America thrives, all America thrives. And now I'm honored to introduce Congressman Morgan Griffith of Virginia's 9th District. The life-changing impact of the Reconnect program would not have been possible without our supportive partners in Congress. So thank you for being here. Congressman?
I walked around because I didn't want to potentially infect Betty. I have already had the COVID, but now we're hearing of cases where people have 2 of them, so we've got to be careful.
Thank you.
2 different strains. And so that's why it's important that we do wear our masks. I do take it off when I'm at a distance and talking to people. And it is funny how sometimes, not our local media, but some media sources that may not care for me, maybe on the other side of the aisle, they'll print the picture of me talking in front of a group and say, look, he isn't wearing a mask. Well, of course not. I'm more than 6 feet away from anybody. I'm talking. It's very hard to talk. As Bill said, it can be kind of stifling and you can't be heard. So that's when I take my mask off. Look, I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to have been invited to this. I was very proud to vote for the CARES Act. And what a lot of people don't know about the CARES Act is this isn't something Congress worked on for months and months and months and then suddenly, came to an agreement. This was something where we had to act quick for the betterment of the economy of the United States and to try to make things better across the board because of coronavirus. And the president's team got in there and negotiated in good faith with people on the right and the left, etc., because we needed to do this for the United States of America, and we got it done. Now, the federal government does have a way of having accurate but sometimes misleading numbers. So I'm going to shed a little light on that because Betty, not supposed to. There are 21 million people, I think you said, who have no service. That's accurate. But as many of you know, there are people who have, at least in the 9th District, and you all may know some of them, who have service. It's dial-up. And they're still using dial-up in parts of the 9th District. You remember the old days when you had these weird noises and then you'd get connected. That counts as having internet service. But you can't really do telehealth on dial-up. You can't do long-distance learning or remote learning on dial-up. What this is going to do for all those people, those various farms who are now using technology to make their product more efficient and compete in the world market, those people who are now getting this service, those students, those schools, that town hall, those facilities at the fire station, all of those folks are now going to have not only some kind of service, but they're going to have state-of-the-art, top-shelf service up to a gigabyte of service available to them. This is exciting. And this is what we're trying to do in Washington, D.C., and why I was very proud to vote for the CARES Act. And we may have another version of it that comes out, but right now, instead of trying to do everything just to get the job done for the people of the United States of America, some of the new versions that have been proposed have, Green New Deal, etc. in it. Can't vote for those. But when it's something that makes sense for the American economy and to expand broadband, you can always count on my vote. And I'm very, very pleased to be here today for this very important announcement. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize, and am I supposed to go ahead and introduce Terry? You're going to introduce Terry? All right, I'll let you introduce Terry. But I'll just tell you, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Terry, because this is something the state has also been working on, and I'm going to let him tell you about that after he's introduced by Bill. And I should say this about Bill. I should say something else about Betty too. Bill talks about this stuff all the time. Every time I'm with him, doesn't matter where I'm at, doesn't matter what I'm doing, he'll sit down and he'll say, now let me talk to you about it. We're going to expand. We need help expanding our service area. We've got to get more broadband out here. So he's got a good board, but don't let him fool you. He is working on this, I'm sure with state legislators too, but with the federal legislators all the time he's talking about it. And then I have to tell you that Betty was actually a constituent of mine when I was in the House of Delegates. She's just outside the district. I might get her in the next redistricting, who knows, into the 9th. But she's just outside the district, but she's been working on all kinds of issues to try to help rural communities for as long as I've known her, not quite as long as Bill's known her, but for a number of years back from when I was in the House of Delegates to today. And so we appreciate all your hard work. And she really does understand and love the rural parts of Virginia as much as probably anybody in D.C. other than myself. But anyway, thank you very much for letting me be with you all today, and I look forward to us having more of these announcements in the future. Thank you.
Y'all get to hear me for just another second. I was going to introduce Terry. Of course, Terry doesn't need any introduction in Scott County. But one thing I did, I forgot to left out one person that I really want to thank, and that's Richard Jenkins, our field rep of RUS. I don't know how long Richard has been our field rep, but 15 years? 13. That's close. That's close. So you know, if it wasn't for Richard's guidance and when everybody gets done, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that, about the success that a lot of people doesn't know about, the investment that USDA's made and that the state of Virginia's made and other entities as far as putting broadband out here basically in the Leno-Wisco planning district. But I'm gonna let Terry talk to you about that. We've worked with the Tobacco Commission, and now we're working with the Virginia Department of Housing, and they're doing broadband grants. We've been really blessed down on this end of the state to, we want everybody to have broadband, but we've got a lot more people that's got broadband than a lot of other areas in the country, and sometimes we don't realize how well that we actually have it until you go somewhere else. And when you get somewhere else, you see that, hey, we're doing all right. But the reason we are is because of these entities that have helped us do it, because in a rural environment, when you've only got 6 houses per mile, it's hard to make an investment of that $9 million that Betty was telling you about and make a return on your investment. I don't know that you could ever do that, just to tell you the truth. Now, not only is there $9 million going into it, but we're putting $3 million into it, so it's not a $9 million project, it's a $12 million project. So this is significant for us. But I'm going to let Terry come up, and he's our state delegate, chairman of the Tobacco Commission, and serves on numerous committees at state level, and and one of our local attorneys. So everybody knows Terry, but I want him to come up and say a few words at this time. Thank you. Thank you.
This is a big day. I mean, when Betty said $9 million, I was that's amazing, and we thank you for coming down here. But the other thing I heard, Betty, was that you had more money. So we really need it in Southwest Virginia. A lot of you remember when Scott County Telephone Cooperative was just Scott County Telephone Cooperative. It was just confined to Scott County. But Bill and the board and the employees here have made a concerted effort to get out into Southwest Virginia to bring those broadband services and to bring that capacity out to other areas of Southwest Virginia. And they've really stepped up to the plate, and they've really stepped up to the plate with us at the Virginia Tobacco Commission, and really stepped up with now DHCD, who is helping us with broadband for rural Virginia. And we really appreciate that because, to get a provider like Scott County to step up is really important, because they do what they say they're going to do. And they connect who they say they're going to connect, and that's very important. And it's very important for areas like Betty, like you said, for telehealth. Virginia is really expanding our use of telehealth now during this coronavirus, and we're going to continue to do it after the coronavirus because it's one way that we can provide those underserved areas with health care opportunities. And also now with school, it's very important that we have that broadband capacity for school. But I really want to, thank my colleagues on the Commission and others for making those initial investments here in Southwest Virginia. But Betty, I want to thank you and the administration and our congressman for his support of the deployment of broadband throughout Southwest Virginia. This is just one of the announcements that have occurred in Southwest Virginia, because there are a lot of other areas that are going to be getting these awards. And like Morgan said, also, that definition of having service is not really a good definition when you can't use dial-up to access Zoom and some of the things that you need to access when you're online. But it's a great day to be here today. It's a great announcement, and $9 million plus $3 million, that's $12 million. That's a lot of investment into Scott County. So we really appreciate the good news from. Sometimes we don't get good news from Washington, but this is one of those days that we get good news from Washington D.C. Thank you all.
Okay, and I've got Senator Pillion couldn't be here today, but Tyler Lester's here representing him. I'm going to let Tyler say a few words, and he supports us and supports the deployment of broadband in all Southwest Virginia too. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Wow, what a great day. I think this project deserves another round of applause. On behalf of Senator Pillion, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. The General Assembly is in a special session, and Senator Pillion had committee votes this morning, so he sends his regrets that he can be here personally. But as far as our three offices go, Senator Pillion, Delegate Kilgore, and Congressman Griffith, I think we've probably received hundreds of inquiries relating to broadband just in the time that COVID has really come to fruition. And broadband is more important than ever, and that need isn't going away, and we know that. And that's why our legislators work so hard to provide the funding that's critical to make these projects a reality. But that funding doesn't do a whole lot of good if we don't have great partner agencies like USDA and the Tobacco Commission to really implement those dollars. And then more importantly, at the local level, great providers like Scott County Telephone to really make use of those dollars and make sure that they can make a difference in people's lives. And I think that's what we're doing here today. So on behalf of Senator Pillion, thank you, Betty, and Congressman Griffith, and all that have worked so hard to make this a reality, and congratulations to Scott County.
Well, I appreciate all of you, and appreciate your support, and we'll continue to try to get out there and get broadband to these unserved areas, and we'll be out there. Every day I probably look, online or look somewhere and try to see if there's a grant available. And you hear about the ones we get, but we get turned down a lot too. But I'm of the personality that it don't really hurt my feelings. If you tell me no, I'll just go back and try again. So you've got to have thin skin when you're out there doing things, and that's pretty well true in all walks of life. If you let disappointments depress you, then you don't ever get anything done. You just keep trying. You just keep plugging. But one thing that I wanted to mention today, and you know, we're not strangers, and that's the reason I was telling you that Richard has been a really good, you know, he's been a good field rep in that he makes sure that we've got all the information that USDA puts out on all these different programs. And because of that, you know, we don't miss opportunities to apply for these awards, basically, you know. But I know I was looking and just going down through the little list, you know. Melissa has got it on her computer, and that's a lady that works with me, and you know, so in 2003 we got a Community Connect grant for Duffield, $500,000. In 2005, we got a Community Connect for Nicholsville, the town of Nicholsville, for $586,000. 2008, we got a Community Connect grant for Yuma in the amount of $999,000. We got an RUS stimulus grant, and it was a $17,395,000 grant and a $7.5 million loan, and that was in 2010. We got a Community Connect grant for the Flat Top community of Sandy Ridge for $1.5 million. That's in Dixon County. We got a Community Connect grant for Tom's Creek, which are also on Sandy Ridge in Dixon. That's in Wise County for $1.5 million. We got a $2.6 million for Stanley Valley, Tennessee. We were the first Community Connect grant awarded in the state of Tennessee, and is awarded to a Virginia company. I'm kind of proud of that. But now they've started applying, and so they're, you know, our sister co-ops are doing their part, but they never had noticed that program was available until we got one there, and that was in 2013. 2014, we got a Community Connect grant for $3 million for Caney Ridge, Brushy Ridge, Dixon County. In 2017, we got $3 million for Big Ridge, and that goes out to the school, which is up top of the mountain in Dixon County. So we're building that right now. We're about to finish that one up. We got a Community Connect grant in 2018 for $3 million to do Nicholsville. We're in the process of building it right now, the Nicholsville Exchange. That goes by about 575 homes. Then we're doing another one the next year in 2019. We got one for Dungannon, which we'll do about 500 customers over there, or 500 residents. So that was $3 million. So with today's award, we'll start right there at Dungannon. We'll come right down the back side of the county. We'll cover Fort Blackmore, Williams Mill, Ryco, Stanleytown, May, Duffield, all the way down, all those little valleys, all the way to the Lee County state line. So, and when that gets, and our timetable is 5 years. We think we can get it done before then, because we've got to complete these two. Nicholsville's about done. We'll jump on Dungannon, try to get it done next year, but we'll have to engineer that. So we'll be engineering while we're completing these two projects, and then hopefully about the end of next year we'll jump on these. And it's going to be a big old project, so we may try to get enough contract. We may start on both ends of it and work back to the middle or something. I don't know, but we'll have to have more resources, and we may divide it up into different phases. So we might award one phase to one contractor and one phase to another contractor, just so we can complete. Now I'm not going to be around probably when they get it done, but I can say that we got the funding to do it before I left, and that was my goal. And so I'm really, really happy to stand up here and tell you that was one of my goals before I left. And that was a goal of our board of directors, And that's one thing that they tell me that all the time, that we need to make sure that we can get a fiber connection to everybody in Scott County. And after today, we can say it's going to happen. So we're really, really, really blessed, is what I want to tell you. And thank you guys for coming down, and thanks for all your help and your support. And so we've got some box lunches, and it looks like they're right back there. And we got water in that big white cooler. So if you guys want to walk over, somebody will hand you a box of lunch. We got ham and turkey, and you can come right. You can take it right onto the car and leave if you got somewhere you need to go, or you can come right back over here and sit down and visit a little while if you got time to do that. But we appreciate everybody coming. Y'all got anything else?
Thank you.
Okay.
You'll recognize me, but I want you all to know the effort that Scott County puts into applying, and he gives me more credit than I deserve because I'm just doing my job. The hard work is Scott County and Melissa and Gwen and Matt and Roger and Bill, and the work's just started. Everybody thinks this money just plops in their lap and it's built, but they have a lot of there's a lot of oversight. There's contracting procedures, there's engineering, so it's an effort, and Bill will tell you that's the easy part is applying, and that's on. So there's a lot of hard work in front of them. So give them some time, but they'll be able to accomplish it. They got a good track record. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you. So everybody grab you something, dude.